She has no face, no arms, no voice. And yet, millions have stood before her in absolute silence. Every day, thousands of visitors pass right by thousands of intact, polished, perfect marble statues in the Louvre without a second glance. They are looking for her. Standing at the top of the Grand Daru staircase, her wings spread wide against an invisible gale, she dominates the space like an ancient force of nature. How can a statue missing its head and arms feel more alive than a perfect body? Something is wrong here. Something that defies everything we expect from art. This is the winged victory of Samothrace. Most statues survive because they were protected from time. This one survived because time could not destroy her. Look closely at her torso. Notice how the marble of her dress is so thin, so impossibly carved, that it clings to her skin as if a wave had just thrown water against the fabric. It does not look like carved stone. It looks like wet silk beaten back by the wind. The sculptor did not just carve a body, he carved the wind itself. You can feel the air rushing past her legs. You can feel the spray of the waves hitting her skin. And look at her wings. They are extended backward, caught in the exact fraction of a second between flight and landing on the prow of a stone warship. She is a miracle of technical precision. But her true power is not in what the artist created. It is in what time took away. In 1863, a French diplomat discovered her on the isolated, storm-swept island of Samothrace in the Aegean Sea. She was not standing in glory. She was shattered into over 100 raw fragments, buried in the dirt of an ancient sanctuary that had been destroyed by earthquakes and war. When her pieces were shipped to Paris and assembled, the impossible began. Imagine that moment. A forgotten goddess emerging from fragments of stone. Piece by piece, archaeologists recovered her wings, her body, her flowing robes. They were not discovering a statue. They were discovering a message sent across 2,000 years. A civilization had disappeared. A language had vanished. A temple had collapsed. But this single figure had survived the earthquake, the war, the burial, and the silence of centuries. When she finally entered the Louvre in 1884, she was not presented as a recovered object. She was presented as a survivor. And yet, as she was assembled, scholars immediately tried to reconstruct what was lost. Did her right hand hold a trumpet to declare a naval victory? Was she reaching out to crown a king? What did her face look like as she descended from the sky? They attempted to rebuild her. They made plaster models. They tried to give her back her limbs and her head, and every single attempt failed. Because the moment you give her a face, the miracle vanishes. A face gives a statue an age. A face gives it an expression: anger, joy, pride. A face turns a goddess into a specific person locked in a specific moment of history. Without a face, she becomes universal, blind, uncaring, relentless. She becomes the pure, abstract emotion of victory itself, a force beyond identity, beyond time, beyond the people who created her. Without arms, her body shifts entirely into movement. You do not look at what she is holding. You look at where she is going. Look closer at the dark base beneath her. It is carved from gray Parian marble, representing the prow of a trireme cutting through violent waters. The polished white marble of her skin feels weightless, almost floating. The dark stone below feels heavy, merciless, grounded in the reality of blood and sea. The name of the master sculptor who spent years shaping her dress was swallowed by history. The most extraordinary thing is that we do not even know who he was. No signature, no portrait, no written record telling us what he imagined when he carved the first line into the marble. The hands that created the wind, the fabric, and the impossible movement of this goddess are unknown. The sculpture survived. The creator did not. The winged Victory was not created as decoration. She was a message. She was designed to celebrate a naval triumph, standing at the entrance of a sanctuary where worshippers would see her as victory made divine. But the battle she represented disappeared. The kingdom that celebrated it vanished. The names of the winners faded into history. The strange irony is that the victory itself was forgotten, while the symbol created to celebrate it became eternal. The event lasted a moment. The marble lasted 2,000 years. Everything around her collapsed. And yet, here she stands, broken, scarred, incomplete, and entirely undefeated. The Louvre did not hide her away in a quiet corner. They placed her at the top of the Daru staircase, where every visitor must confront her before entering the galleries. She does not stand inside a room. She commands a space. The staircase becomes the waves beneath her ship. The visitors below become witnesses arriving after a victory already won. She is not waiting to be admired. She is arriving. When she arrived in Paris, she was no longer just an ancient goddess from a forgotten sanctuary. She became something far greater. For generations of visitors, she has come to represent the human struggle against time, loss, and destruction. She was no longer the symbol of one forgotten naval victory. She became the symbol of survival itself. Stand close to her one last time. Notice how her body leans forward, permanently frozen in the act of pushing through the gale. Her head is gone, but she still looks upward. Her arms are gone, but she still reaches forward. Her empire is gone, but her wings are still spread. Some statues survive because they were kept safe in rooms. The winged Victory survived because she was built to endure the storm. We look at her and we do not see a ruin. We see a body that refused to fall. Every time you return, the wind will still be blowing. Her dress will still be clinging to her skin. She will remain trapped forever, halfway between a disaster and a triumph. Because the ultimate truth of the winged Victory is that she did not conquer the world by remaining whole. She conquered it by surviving what should have destroyed her.